with airplane peanuts.
The Tim Dillon Show is one of the most popular comedy podcasts in the world, raking in over 100 million views and 500,000 subscribers since joining YouTube in 2016. But with growing concerns amongst comedians regarding YouTube's strict monetization policies and blatant corporate censorship, it looks like Tim Dillon's days on this platform might be coming to an end.
I don't know what's going on anymore, and it doesn't matter. XQC leaves Twitch, agrees to 2-year, $100 million contract with Kick. So that's what I'm saying. There are other places. You know, we might start uploading the show to Twitter. We're thinking about it. In addition to YouTube, we don't know. We might start uploading the show to Rumble. We don't know right now, but we are experimenting with all kinds of things. But we don't know the direction that things are going to go in the media space, but things do seem to be heading to an interesting place where there are more eyeballs now across many different platforms. And that might be the best way to do it.
Obviously, fans of Tim Dillon's know that online censorship has always been a battle, but this issue seemed to have reached a breaking point last week after episode 349 of The Tim Dillon Show was struck with an age restriction. Tim went to Twitter saying, quote, "After YouTube has made people sign in to watch the show for a third time, I've decided to start uploading complete podcasts to Twitter and Rumble as well. I don't think YouTube is the future for comedy. The censors have gone completely insane." And it's not just Tim who's speaking out for change. The same day Tim sent out his initial tweet, Giannis Pappas chimed in with his 2 cents, saying, "The future of comedy and comedy podcasts is on Twitter. At Elon Musk, let's make it happen. YouTube censors too much."
Theo Von was also quick to use Twitter as a resource after his episode with Roseanne Barr was completely removed from YouTube for some bullshit reasons that we'll have to cover more in an upcoming video.
Theo tweeted his full episode saying, "My podcast with Roseanne was removed from another platform, so I wanted it to be able to live somewhere. Amen."
Many people were hoping the threat of leaving YouTube would be enough to curb this censorship in some way. But just yesterday, Tim informed his fans, because of YouTube's strike, we can't upload a YouTube episode this week. Episode will be out on all audio platforms. Besides YouTube being the premier video sharing platform for people on Earth, the other reason this censorship is so dangerous is because these are just jokes, especially in Tim Dillon's case, where his unique ranting style perfectly highlights the day-to-day stupidity of our culture and pushes back on some of these insane ideas.
I used to get coked out of my face, put a bunch of friends in my Suburban, drive around really wealthy areas in Long Island and point to the houses and go, "They deserve this money. They deserve it. They're better than we are." Screaming, sweating, screaming. And my friends would be like, yeah. Back of the car, they were terrified. They're like, "Are we going to die? What's wrong with this guy?" I'd be like, "They deserve it. Don't take their money, make your own money."
Making every single viewer sign in, giving channel strikes that ultimately lead to YouTube bans, or the scariest idea of all, that slowly, over time, these guys will start self-censoring to stay in YouTube's good graces without even noticing. These are all extremely negative factors when it comes to producing good comedy, and if the past few years have taught us anything, it's that good things happen when comedians go independent. As we've seen with the migration to Austin and The Mothership, the amount of shows finding massive success on Patreon, and all the self-produced podcasts and specials that have been receiving millions and millions of views. The problem is, YouTube used to be the #1 tool helping comedians break away from that industry, but now it's trying to apply the same shackles. As far as Rumble goes, their entire platform is still very early on in development. Tim's friend Steve Will Do It is one of the top creators over there after getting completely banned from YouTube a few months ago. Comedian-wise, they have Jim Brewer, Russell Brand has a huge page, Sam Tripoli's podcast is over there. Everything is still very experimental over on Rumble, which is why I think Twitter is most likely the place that many people will watch the Tim Dillon Show moving forward, especially with Elon in control, providing an extra sense of security when it comes to free speech for the foreseeable future. And maybe YouTube will sense this growing threat to their business and release some of these restrictions. It seems like everyone in comedy is getting sick of YouTube's shit to some extent. Hopefully something changes soon, because this is still the premier video platform, the easiest to use, and most importantly, has the most users and the widest reach. And it's just a great place for watching videos. The ability to share videos, the end screens, and the suggested content is always on point. It's just a shame they've begun to create an echo chamber of allowed ideas. I do think Twitter is more realistic than Rumble, but even when you consider the massive amount of users on Twitter, it's still just hard to imagine anyone sitting down and watching an hour-long podcast over there. Although that's probably just because up to this point, it's never been done. And I think most comedy fans would agree, if anyone's gonna pull this off first, it's Tim Dillon. Shane Gillis and Burt Kreischer competed in the 2023 Bussin' with the Boys Beer Olympics last weekend, and boy did it look fun.
Probably the top 2 binge drinkers in comedy right now, Team Shert Krillis seemed like a shoo-in to win this whole thing, especially with their matching Notre Dame polos on. But apparently the fellas ended up taking a loss in the end. I don't know why, but it's always pretty cool to see NFL players and comedians hanging out and getting drunk, which there's plenty more of in this week's episode of Something's Burning with Shane, Will, and Taylor.
Guest spots from last week.
The Joe Rogan Experience had on Ice Cube. Your Mom's House talked with Rachel Wolfson. Kill Tony this week was the 10-year with Joe Rogan and Tom Segura. Two Bears, One Cave was Bert and Country Wayne. Stavi's World talked with Ian Fidance and Jordan Jensen. Chrissy Chaos had on Mateo Lane. Homeless Pimp was on Hey Babe. Bad Friends talked with Adam Devine. Man Shane Secret Podcast had on Nate Marshall and Lemaire Lee. Graham Hancock was a guest on Flagrant. And Bobby Lee was on We Might Be Drunk.
Sam, could I just bring something up that I've never mentioned in front of you? And I want to make it uncomfortable because I love you so much.
Oh, I love you
just
too.
At my house. I love
Sure,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, man, I love you too, man.
Sure.
Hey.
You've never fucked me up, bro.
I fucked you over?
One time.
What did I do?
Oh, shit.
So do you know who this guy is?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Nice guy.
So one time, before I met you, you were younger, and we were at the Improv, and I was supposed to go next, and you went into this guy because he was the promoter of the show.
Oh!
And you said to him, no, I'm going to go up before Bobby. And I remember getting in a fight with him, like, who is this guy bumping me? Like, I've never heard of this fucking jackass
He's
before.
a legend in L.A.
And then Jeffrey was like, this guy was like, no, he's allowed. like a guy I've never fucking heard of. Right? It's not like he was Chappelle or some shit.
What is this, last
And
week?
he fucking bumped me, but then I was like, fuck that guy forever.
Really?
But now we're friends, and I didn't realize, but now we're good.
You know what that was?
I think what happened was I had already gotten bumped by like 3 people.
So you do remember that night?
That makes
I
sense.
remember, yeah. Was Leno there that night?
Yeah. So,
I got bumped by like 3 people, and I was like, I'm fucking leaving if I'm not. I already have issues with LA.
Right.
And I'm sorry the one time an LA guy showed me any fucking respect that hurt you, Bobby. But Mark and I get zero respect in LA.
Yeah.
Zero.
This past weekend with Theo Vaughn talked with Tom Segura. Josh Wolf was on the Harland Highway. Are You Garbage had on Dave Smith. Taste Buds battled whipped cream versus chocolate syrup. Sam Tripoli went on the Honeydew. Annie Letterman was on First Date. Joel McHale was a guest on Whiskey Ginger. Tom Papa was on the Blocks podcast. Bonnie McFarlane was on You Know What Dude. And Bill Bellamy was on Tiger Belly.
As far as new stand-up specials are either out right now or coming out soon, Tom Segura's brand new hour Sledgehammer came out this morning on Netflix. This is Tom's 5th Netflix special in the last 9 years. Be sure to keep an eye out for a post in our community section coming soon, asking comedy fans to react to Sledgehammer if you want your comment read in an upcoming video.
Kevin Hart's new special called Reality Check is coming out on Peacock July 6th, which should be really good as well.
Some new specials out on YouTube for you as well.
Matt Rife's full crowdwork hour is up right now on his page, and not technically a special, but Josh Johnson had some new stand-up from the Comedy Cellar put out on his YouTube channel right now.
Let me know in the comments what you think of this whole YouTube, Rumble, Twitter situation, and if you'd ever want a Joke World Rumble or Twitter account, let me know that as well. Be sure to keep an eye out for some new videos coming out on this channel soon, including the funniest podcast moments from July. That might already be posted, or it's going to be out soon. Either way, that's going to be a great video, so if you don't want to miss it, be sure to hit subscribe right now. Have a great 4th of July, and thank you so much for watching.
At Joke World. That's it, at Joke World.
And the world is WRLD.